before we get started, just look at these bodysuits. Like I got these in every single fucking color. Like these are so comfortable and they're so affordable, bro. I'm obsessed with these. Like so obsessed. I got this in black, gray. They had an orange one, I didn't get that one, but black, gray, blue, obviously, and they had like, I got the short sleeve and like the no sleeve one. So, oh, and I also got like the one with the hoodie. Ooh, like a black one with the hoodie. Oh man, like I'm gonna be wearing this non-stop. Like I'm basically, this is about to be me, like just walking around in these shits. But yeah, anyways, what's up y'all? It's Interstellex, aka Stllargirl, aka Cozy Queens. Shout out to y'all for rejoining me on my channel. Shout out to my Stargazer gang, whatever. This video is, I'm putting this in the 2023 reflection video because I just wanted to, like, you know, just touch up on some stuff. Because I recorded this during the Mercury retrograde, and I'm also learning how to express myself still without music. There's gonna be like a lot of ums and ahs and stuff. I tried to cut out as much as I could, but like y'all, like it's just unrealistic to me. Like I don't know how people if you're not a big fan of that, if you get annoyed by ums and ahs a lot, like or just waiting for someone to like think about what they're saying, then you just obviously this isn't the content for you. I know we live in a time where it's like fast content and shit like that, and like people, even myself, want like quicker content, but I can still sit through like longer videos, you know what I mean? But whatever. But this video is just like 2023 reflections. I'm basically just going over like what I learned, what I've grown into. I mentioned some things about like me going through like a dark time. Basically the past 2 years, especially this year, was like the dark night of the soul, and like it just ended. Like, you know, the planet Neptune really took me for a fucking I don't know if it's still retrograding, but like it took me, yeah, it did a big one on me. Same thing with Venus retrograde, but it was all worth it. You know, 2023 was all worth it, despite how fucking painful it was and the mental dogfight I'm talking about. Like I had to go through, like I'm talking about Rottweilers and pit bulls, like just not here, you know what I mean? Just going at it in my head, and I still came out me. I'm better, I feel better, I'm feeling better, I'm getting help, I'm like focused more on my career. I just like unpacked some stuff from my business. I'm about to edit this video. I have a lot of stuff planned for the YouTube channel, whatever. Like I'm feeling a lot better, you know what I mean? And also like, yeah, and also like 2023 was the year of like practicing. I'm so glad I did this too, because the shit that I had to work through that year, like me, you know, not really practicing celibacy or something like that, that probably would have just made shit worse. But you know, I was just thinking, like, it's only day 2 out here. It ain't even day 3 of 2024, and like I'm honestly like looking at God like I'm gonna need you to send me somebody to know how to act right. Somebody who's worth it, you know what I mean? Like I'm not really trying to be like Virgin Mary this year, you know what I mean? Like you know, I did it last year and I understand why, you know. And like I said, I'm still gonna be practicing it until like I find somebody who's worth, you know what I mean? But like, girl, I've been ovulating recently, and it's just like the type of fantasies and shit I've been having, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I do not know if I will make it this year. I don't know. I'd be surprised if I do. I really do. I'm great at practicing self-control, like, you know what I mean? But like I said, I'm not just gonna be laying out with anybody, because it's, you know, but and also too, I talk about people in my past in this video, and I don't know, like, you know how like you just have those moments like, damn, I was really tripping over that. Like, that's no offense to people, I don't really like trying to offend people when I say that, but it's just like you realize like I was tripping over nothing. Like it's just one of those moments like, damn girl, like get it together, like what was wrong with you, you know? But it's the purpose of like going through that, because you realize like, oh, that wasn't even worth all that energy, to be honest, you know. And like even now, like me, you know, wanting to be like, you know, sexual again and shit like that, like I'm like, if I can't even like daydream about me, because you know, for me, like I kind of want to be able to be with someone I can lose my self-control with, like, or not my self-control, my common sense with, you know what I mean? Like however you take that is how I mean it. Like, I want to be able to lose my common sense with somebody, and it's just like I couldn't do that with those people. And I, like, you know, if I yeah, I couldn't. So it's like, why was I tripping? Like, I can't trip over somebody I can't, like, lose my common sense over. You know what I mean? During the act, if we made it to that point, like, like, even down to my ex, like, yeah. So, anyways, I don't know, that's probably, like, too much information, but, like, girl, that's where I'm at. Anyways, I feel good. I have some, I'm about to be working on, once I edit this video, I'm gonna start working on the stuff for my business, so you gotta stay tuned for that. Y'all, I'm so excited. Also, I haven't showed y'all I recorded it. I updated my desk and shit, my setup. I recorded it, but I don't know if I'm gonna post it, so I don't know. I don't really, like, you know, I'm in stages of, like, just trying to figure out what's gonna stick on this channel. So y'all bear with me. So I'm doing everything. I'm doing gaming, I'm doing this. You're gonna be seeing my music soon. Oh, I can't wait to show y'all what I got coming up with that. But yeah, also my new EP is gonna be called Cindy's Dead, or Cinderella's Dead, or some shit. It may change because it's a little corny, but it may change. But for right now, no, like, for real. And I've been wearing a lot of blue. Like, I love the color blue, especially this, like, royal blue. Like, I love it. I always get compliments on when I wear this color too. Like, my workout, I got workout clothes that's this color and shit like that. But in my pajamas, they like blue. They're not royal blue, but they like sky blue. And it's just like, it matches the, like, the starry, like, sky feel that I have going on right now. Girl, I look so good. Oh, that's another thing. Like, this year, like, my confidence, or like this, my love of self, and just like, I'm like, this transformation that happened in 2023, like, the bitch that happened, because, you know, like, everybody on the internet, they talking about, like, oh, real year starts in March, right? Which I agree, but it's not that big of a deal. And so, like, even if we talking about, like, from March, like, Aries season to the upcoming Aries season, like, I'm a completely different bitch. Like, look at me. What? I'm sorry, like, y'all, I'm a completely different bitch, bro. That transformation was hell, but goddamn, it's like I came out, like, you know what I mean? I had, like, a reader literally talk about, like, she was like, we always talk about the butterfly or whatever, and how we use the butterfly for transformation, and, like, you know, the butterfly is literally my logo, and it's for the same reason. But she was like, you know, we don't really realize how painful it must be to be in that fucking cocoon for the caterpillar. Like, you literally have, like, wings ripping out of your back, like, your entire body is changing, like, you know, everything is changing, and, like, you're in, like, this little space. That's how much room you have to grow in. It's like, it's just, imagine, like, it has to be, like, painful to them in some way, shape, or form. Like, they have to feel that, you know what I mean? And that's what this year felt like. 2023, 2024, bitch. Like, man, I love, like, you know, the reason I love God so much is because of, like, I'm able to, like, look at, like, even when I can't fucking realize it in the moment, or when I can't see the shit, like, I always understand it later. And it's just like, God is so good. God protected me from so much shit. I was crying over so much bullshit. So much bullshit this year. So much shit, like, so much. And it's just like, man. Anyways, I'm finna go. I gotta start work soon. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more. Peace. I haven't ran my hands through across a low fade or a fucking some braids or some shit in a minute. And, like, this time I want to be somebody, like, worth that shit. Like, you know, like, I'm over here daydreaming about, like, you know how you gotta put your hand on, like, the like, you know, you put your hand up on the dude, like the bottom two abs and shit. Bitch. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it, Jesus.
So much love in the streets. Penthouse stamp every for the week. No, when I need peace, we must be destined to be. Please don't wake me up from the sleep. No.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. This is Interstellex, aka Stllargirl, aka the Cozy Queen. Thank you so much for rejoining me to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My camera just moved on its own. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah. You know, just I don't know. I just wanted to put this out there. It's Cancer new moon. No, full moon. Sorry, it's a Cancer full moon. I'm doing a lot of reflecting. I done cried already. I tried to record this since Thursday. I've been trying to record this video like this, but I didn't really go within, like I didn't really get to the root of what I wanted to get to until now. So sometimes it does take a few tries of me like working through a bunch of thoughts and stuff like that first. So anyways, this is a video just for me to put up, and I think I'm gonna just title this like just looking for my tribe or some shit. I don't know, but I just want to really just talk about what it's like being a Cancer rising, highly sensitive person, someone with ADHD, just reflecting on 2023 for me and like the lessons I've learned and some of the challenges I've faced. I don't know what exactly where it's gonna go, but I do know what I want to touch on, right? And I pulled cards for myself today, and because it is Mercury retrograde too, I have had a few people from my past hit me up, right? And like before they kind of reached out, I was like having had this personal conversation with myself in my car, like literally moments before one of them reached out, and I was kind of discussing how I kind of have an issue with setting boundaries. One, not really knowing how to set them and stand on them, like how like strong like of a boundary I need to set with people, and how little, like, you know what I mean, like the range, like, you know, setting boundaries isn't easy for me. So when it's time for me to set a boundary, it's almost like an all or nothing type of situation for me, in order for it to feel justified, you know what I'm saying? And again, that ties into just, you know, something that comes with, you know, neurodivergency sometimes. Just growing up in an environment where it took me blowing up to have to like set, like to make something clear, just for things to no longer continue. Yeah, I was talking about, you know, just something along about forgiveness. Like I was like, how do I, like, what does forgiveness look like for me? And like how to navigate that, you know what I mean? And yeah, like I've just been reflecting on this for a moment, like on and off all year, but really most recently, you know, especially, what was this, Friday? Yeah, Friday, because whenever my dad came into town is when, like, it's crazy how it kind of happened. Like my dad is somebody I had an issue with forgiving too, so like trying to like navigate that as well, and like that's what kind of sparked this conversation I had with myself. Also, I realized that my actual gift, like I never really put like a name to it. Like I knew I had like one or two of the clairs at least, but my strongest clair is clairsentience. So like I'd be like feeling shit and like just sensing, like I got spidey senses or some shit. Like after hanging out with my dad for a moment, like I was leaving that his hotel, and I started having this conversation with myself, and like literally I was like driving to go get food before I came home, and like on the way, like I was having a whole conversation literally up until I got to where I was going, and then like as I'm like waiting for my fucking food, like the first person like hit me up, right, from my past. And this was someone like I said, chances too, like forgiving for me. I'm someone, and people have taken advantage of this, and I feel like people still think they can take advantage of this part of me, but like I've grown out of that now. I'm someone who used to give chance after chance after chance after chance after chance, right? You know, people would talk a big game, you know, be on the oh I'm sorry shit, and then like, you know, I give them a chance again, and they kind of turn around and like it, you know, things just, there was really no change, you know what I mean, shown. So yeah, so like this time around, like I got to a point where you get so tired of that, where you're just like, the moment like someone like triggers me or some shit, like I would just like block, move on, don't even say shit to me. I've been watching you, I've been observing you. I already, like, you know, I kind of figured, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like I'll be sitting back here and watching people and like observing people and like putting two and two together, and then like sometimes it can get out of hand when I do that. But it went from giving people chance after chance after chance to just like straight up just fucking grabbing my shit and dipping, like without saying nothing, like no explanation, nothing, just fuck it, fuck you, I don't know what's going on, fuck you, whatever, right? I was just reflecting on all of that, right? Well, forgiveness, how I'm gonna forgive, whatever, what I need to do to move forward. I even got like I said, I've been reflecting on this for a minute now too. And so it was like September. Literally, I think right in the last retrograde too, I was like, I had to go get clarity at the moment, because at that time I just couldn't really trust anything at the time, because I was just dealing with like other type of stuff, trying to figure out some other shit. So it was I had to go get clarity for something. So, you know, one of the questions, and I'm so glad I asked this, because it's like been helping me make the decision of that I'm being faced to make. And this is actually what came up around that time too. But I had asked if like what relationships that were around me, like in my energy or whatever, that were worth healing. And because I have this tendency to, like I said, keep giving chances, and chances and chances, and then I can, like, you know, for me, I think my issue is that if I could like see like where I went wrong at in a situation, I would like justify that for me, like to allow someone back in my life, right? Or to, yeah, you know, like try to rekindle something, because I would let them, like I was acting out of character too sometimes. So you know what I mean? Like I would just like, you know what, try it again. But then like instead of, I would be trying to show up differently, and then like the other person would just have no intentions for that. You know what I mean? They were just like looking for me to like be that fucking doormat again. You know what I mean? And you know, let me show you the card. So yeah, so boom, first card came out was the death card, which also came out in the reading that I got that I'm speaking of. Death card with the Lovers. This is the choice. And then the Ace of Cups. Then the Ace of Cups came out, right? So Death, Lovers, Ace of Cups. And basically the overall message was just like, you know, like letting go of the past, you know, letting people go, and you know, making the choice to like, you know, move on to something new and create more fulfilling like connections and shit like that. Because this is around like relationships, you know what I mean, interpersonal relationships, and I do struggle with, you know, maintaining them, because like, you know, it's just been a struggle for me recently. So you know, going back to the people that have like kind of reached out to me recently, I have had a total of, I guess, 2 that I actually verbally spoke to, but then I had like, I saw like, you know, my ex like floating around, right? But I think I'm actually done with that. For real. How do I say it? Like, I had a lot to say while I was working, but I've been kind of conflicted, because like I said, like both people kind of reached out on some, you know, like, you know, kind of trying to like mend the bridge, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm usually open to it. It's just a complicated thing for me, because to figure out, because like I also, like earlier this year with me, like not being able to really trust people and shit, like the way, I want to say around like earlier this year, like before end of summer, like I don't know, spring, summer, around this time I started like projecting a little bit. Ooh, right? I started kind of projecting a little bit because like a lot of my fears, and some of them became like self-fulfilling like prophecies and shit. And what I mean by that is like within my relationships, like family and friendships, right? And like we'll be projecting like, you know, fears and shit onto other people, or like, you know, like my abandonment issues, or like just feeling misunderstood, feeling like I was misunderstood, or just taking other people's actions personally and shit like that. And I don't know, it was just a lot going on, right? And anyways, I've been, you know, kind of wanting to put down the walls that I put up now. And I was getting that message all year. Like, I was afraid to put down these walls because I was afraid that, like, and because it, you know, like, rightfully so, but I was dealing with people, or afraid of people, like, mistaking my kindness for weakness, taking advantage of the type of love that I give, taking advantage of my like ability to always be so understanding and so forgiving, as well, for their behavior and shit like that. And so I kind of clung on to those walls because I just didn't understand or know how to set boundaries. And I would literally, even like I said, in family too, like it would always take me having to blow up and just wanting to pick up and like this escape, basically. Pick up and leave whenever it was time to just like express uncomfortable emotions or have difficult conversations and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fear of the conflict that would ensue sometimes. Like, you know, that comes, I'm not even gonna get into it, but that all comes from childhood. And when you have a specific type of childhood where like it's just unsafe to fucking set a boundary, like it is, you know, it fucks with you for real. This year, especially if you listen to my EP, like I was working through, I don't know, I had to do like a lot of healing around self-acceptance, and again, the boundaries part, and like self-worth, right? I was doing a lot of research on, you know, highly sensitive people, like, you know, like with me having ADHD, and then on top of also being a Cancer rising, just a lot of self-concept shit, right? But just really getting to know myself and being comfortable with that, and understanding that like there was nothing like wrong with me. There was nothing in me that deserved the type of treatment that I received from specific people in XYZ, because I spent this year, I want to say like my mental health this year was like on the 3. It was like between 3 and a 5. It was not as great as I would have liked it to be. And I started seeking help for it because I just couldn't figure out what the issue was, like what else that I needed to realize or fix in order to feel better again. And it turns out I just had to learn how to treat my ADHD. But within that, like I like going down that rabbit hole of learning about ADHD and like seeing like a lot of the stigma that come with it, and like how it kind of was the reason why I felt so misunderstood, why I was picked apart so much when I was younger and whatnot. And you know, like even like in how like I said, when I said it, I was like, it was a moment where I was projecting at one point, because like even that rejection sensitivity, that perceived like rejection shit, really showed up this year, and it kind of was like taking me for a whirlwind as well. You know, I hope this is making sense, but yeah, that's just kind of like the backstory of things. Like, I think I'm just giving like the backstory right now. And going into, just looking at all of the types of relationships that I'm being called to like let go, especially because with all these people coming around again and they're looking at men or like kind of pick up where we left off, has me kind of deciding like how I'm going to just move forward, you know what I mean? And this doesn't necessarily mean like I'm, on my fuck you shit, but it's more like just realizing like how much I've grown, and then how much like I have like again realized about myself. I realized like, what I want, what I need in my life, like what type of, you know what I mean, what type of connections that are, really fulfilling, you know what I mean? Most of the people that have reached out to me are both people that kind of like, or people who are like mostly like emotionally like not there for their own reasons, but people who again I was too much for, or they just like weren't the type of person that could deal with me. You know what I mean? And so especially the first person that reached out first this time around, kind of like, and then we were younger at this time too. The first connection I'm talking about is 10 years old now, right? And this will be the second time this person reached out, looking for, trying to like, apologize, or just reaching out saying, hey, I hope you're good or whatever. But the first time they did that, and this is what I mean about like, I think kind of set me up to not want to like give chances anymore, like at first, because they reached out the first time for what they did, and which was very like a backstabbing, like betrayal type of situation, right? The first time they reached out, like I was like, okay, like I didn't know how to really stand on my boundaries then, but I was like, you know what, no, I'm good. I didn't really want to, but then I was like, like that's when I start reflecting on things I could have done better. And then I'm like, okay, well, actually, let me give this a try. Maybe if we both like show up differently, then it'll actually work, right? And I actually tried to do that, and it kind of blew up in my face again, right? And the second person that came around, I kind of know better now, but I do know better, but like this is someone who is just have different values. Like our values are different when it comes to how we show up or what we prioritize in life, to an extent, and at least in specific areas. And I was just reflecting on the lessons that I learned from this person this year, and like I said, this my whole idea on love had to change too, because like and boundaries too, because not even setting boundaries just because of other people, but setting boundaries for myself. Like when it's obviously someone else is like on a different type of path in life, like they don't really value the same things, or they don't really think about this, like about things in the same way, or consider specific things in the same way, because that's just not them. It's not what they need in this life. They like, my mistake was, still trying to like fit them into like what I wanted, you know what I mean? And if that makes sense. So like that's where I went wrong. And like this person, as far as I'm conflicted, because like on a friend level, this person is really like could be a really good friend, but you know, I'm saying like things got mixed up when like feelings and shit got involved, and that's where I went wrong. And now that this person like reached out, I'm like realizing this about the whole values and how different that is. And like I guess this morning I was thinking about like how about the type of friends that I do need in my life, the type of people that I do need to have like in my circle for sure. And this is going to get into like the whole like Cancer rising thing, right? Because, you know, people like us, or just highly sensitive people, we kind of need that space. We need those, like our home environment, our friends and our family, like that makeup, that support system is very important for us, because we need that space to be fully our vulnerable, like our sensitive selves, and be that person who wants to like, you know, nurture and give and whatever, without it, and like it being in a like balance, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll be able in a space where I can receive that back as well in the same way. But you know, like I said, where I went wrong was like looking for that in people who just didn't fit that, like description, or that kind of person, you know what I mean? And like I said, I don't know, it's nothing for like, I'm not, it took me a moment to get here, but like I'm no longer like saying things from a place of just like as if the way they show up was wrong or something, you know what I mean? It's more of just like you just weren't for me. And I think this is like finally understanding is how, like, you know, is certain, you need certain people for certain shit. Like I feel like this person now that the type of pedestal that I put them on was way too high for what they actually like were supposed to be on in my life. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? Like the priority list was, I just, yeah, it was just like the wrong, like, and you know, people, I'm not even gonna say that. I was gonna say like people with ADHD, you know, we have like issues prioritizing shit. But like, no, like, yeah, like I would be putting, not even just this person, like in general, like especially with the first person that reached out, but you know, I would be putting the wrong people in the wrong spot, in the wrong position in my life, you know what I mean? And you know, and that, like I said, that just goes with not being able to accept people for who they are, just like wanting to like put what I want on people. I've been like thinking about like how should I move about this, because like I said, people want to like, you know, mend bridges and shit, and there's nothing wrong with that, and it's not that I'm not open to it either. It's just like, I don't know, like I just don't look at people the same way that I did before, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I just don't like really look at people the same way that I do before. And there's a bunch of other things that I'm not really going to get into about like why I'm hesitant as well. Like what this is saying is like dealing with people who were not so accepting of that, or not so accepting of that, and not so comfortable with who I was. It made me feel like I had to go, like I had to tone things down, you know, especially the first person that reached out. I just remember that entire relationship being like that. Like we were friends, but it was just like that entire relationship was just like picking me apart. Like everything I did was just not okay with this person. Like he just pissed them off, agitated them, irritated them. You know what I mean? Like, this person hated the type of music I was into, the type of artist I was into, why I liked the artist so much, or just why I was just so passionate about certain shit. And like, you know, then I had like, you know, someone else who would like, who didn't really like how go-getter I was and shit, like how, you know, setting out to go do things on my own, or just like going to get what I wanted. You know what I mean? Like it don't even matter what it like was. I don't know how to really explain that, but you know, people would have like an issue with something about me, or they would just make me feel like I said, I did have to like wake up to like how codependency showed up for me this year, right? But what most people made me kind of feel like, and whether it be intentional or unintentional, but like, you know, people will make it feel like I would be asking for too much when I would be asking just for like simple shit. You know, they would make it seem like I was asking for the fucking world, you know, just to be like fucking like for communication, or for just like, I don't know, simple shit, communication, trust, loyalty, fucking respect, just like that mutual respect. Like, can you just have my back like I have yours, or some shit? And you know, that same support that I would be like, they will be expecting from me, like I couldn't really count on anyone else to be that for me. Like, you know, I couldn't count on them to be that for me, because it would be like, it's like, that was just why, like, you know what I mean? And so like, you know, this is what this death card is saying, just like kind of putting it into that. And so like, even if like I do kind of reconcile with people, it's not going to be on the same level that it could have been had it happened years ago or months ago, because you know, I had to do a lot of work on myself with that. Like, I just came out of like a space of this like so much darkness, of feeling like, you know, like I was going to coaches and shit because I just felt like, again, like something was still wrong with me. You know, there was something that I needed to fix within myself in order to be accepted by someone finally, and not feel misunderstood, or just like it was more just like, it wasn't until like the last coach where I realized like I was like going to people to try and, because I felt like who I wasn't enough, or wasn't worthy enough, or wasn't, you know what I mean, like good enough or some shit, to an extent, you know, that it was like I just needed to be fixed. And that was a very dark time for me. You know, I was really picking myself apart even further, blaming myself, shaming myself, because I just couldn't help but be who I was. I was like, that's another thing I came to realize, like, with me doing all this research on myself, the fact that I am a Cancer rising, the fact that I do have an ADHD diagnosis now, the fact that even if I get into human design, I get into like the projector area. Like, I'm a projector, so it's like, even like reading my astrology in general, not even just the Cancer rising part, like just getting the readings for whatever, just following my astrology, following like whatever spirit is saying for me, right? Everything was just pointing back to like, this is just how you are. And like, yes, there may have been ways that like that weren't so healthy, like the ways that I've acted that weren't so healthy, but like I need to it's imperative for me to embrace my vulnerability. It's imperative for me to embrace my sensitivity. It's imperative to like acknowledge my desires and understand that like I can have that. Like there are people out here looking for exactly what I'm looking for, and now that like I know that and I've seen it, you know, and it's crazy, like I really have like been meeting people who have the same values as me, who have almost like a very similar type of goal for life, right? Or like desires for life to accomplish in life, and like their life genuinely like reflects that. Like they're actively working towards that, and like it's reflected, and like it's like not even just to impress somebody, because you know people do and can and have put on a mask to seem like they were the specific match that I was looking for, you know what I mean? Or you know how people do when they just really, instead of just being honest about like what they're looking for, like I can't see through it too, but being honest about what they're looking for, you know, like they try to like play the part until they, you know, get whatever they want, right? And so yeah, like even just realizing that, and after like, you know, just meeting people like that and talking to people like that, I like when these people pop back up, you know, it made me realize like how I don't really see them in that same light as I used to. And I think I just said that, but like that's why, it's because like having that confirmation that what I'm seeking is out there, seeking me somewhere, somehow, somewhere, some shape, some form, you know? And yeah, like I'm just, you know, I was just sitting to myself working today, and I was just like, you know what, like, yeah, if I do allow certain people back in my life, it won't be like, it'll just be very like so cordial, you know what I mean? So like, you know, I can't even like look at you in like with a different perspective. You know what I mean? And it's not even like, when I mean perspective, like if we're friends, like that's all like not even on some situationship type of shit or anything. Like I couldn't look at that as, that's not even like, I'm not even like intrigued by that. You know, for specific the people that have come back, like I'm just like, you know, somebody I probably dap up. What's up? You know what I mean? Like that's about it now, you know? And I'm just glad that I'm finally here now, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and I'm at a place where like you know, I feel like I will like block people when I feel like I was like not strong enough or some shit, or in a place where I was like yeah, where I couldn't really trust myself to say what I'm saying now, or to stand on what I'm saying now, you know? But, you know, now it's just like, I'm actually kind of like so ready to move forward with shit, you know? You know, this also did come up in the reading. She did say that like, you know, like I remember like literally being in the space where I was like asking God to like have people realize how much I was like caring for them and shit. And you know what I mean? Like it was the moment when I like got to a place where I genuinely kind of like I was okay with not needing it anymore, needing that anymore, not even like looking for that anymore, was when it came. And it came like twice on the same day, which was crazy. But yeah, like this, you know, yeah, that came up in a reading. And like it's funny how these same cards came out today, because that's exactly what I've been having to do today. Just kind of sit back and really decide on like who I will like how to move next, you know what I mean? And it's just like I don't want to continue to feel misunderstood by people. I just want to be able to be in a space, and this is why I'm posting this video, and this is why I'm approaching my YouTube from the angle that I am, is because it's like I only want people who like can accept me for me, you know what I mean? Can like, you know, who don't make me feel like I'm a burden, who don't make me feel bad for being intense, who can handle like me in a sense, you know what I mean? Like I'm not really looking for or looking to people, or like going back to people who kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like they just want me to play like that role, like, and not really bring any balance to the relationship in any sense, if that makes sense, you know? Who, and especially like with, I think on the pattern like Cancer rising, like Cancer ascendant thing, that the pattern like sent me literally yesterday, was I have to be careful of people who like expect me to be that supportive role, to be that person that's always like, you know, there for them, holding shit together, riding for them, but whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then like I get really nothing much in return. Like there's, you know, these people kind of like come, like, you know, could go their whole life, you know, not caring about how things may have affected me, or not considering me, or just like not like really showing up for me in the same way that I showed up for them. But then, and like I would have to be alone in that darkness, or whenever I would need somebody, like I couldn't really count on them, because then like I would be like, you know, it's too much for them, like they can't handle that. But you know, it's still like they can just pick up the phone, or like, you know, hit me up one day, knowing that I'm forgiving, knowing that I'm like someone who's always looking to give chances, or was, you know, like they come back around and it's just like, you know, they're still expecting that person to just give without anything in like getting much back in return, you know? And I think that's what this is. Like this is, it's just like I'm really interested in people who are givers as well. Like I need a giver, you know, in my life. You know, people who can like show up for me, who have my back like I have theirs, who where I don't have to question it constantly, or where I don't feel like I have to go fix myself, you know what I mean? Because to be accepted by people, or just to wonder why people are like people that was such a dark space for me to be in. And now that I'm on the other side of it, it's just like I literally started crying about that earlier today, because like that was actual hell for me, you know? But it was worth it, because like I am who I am right now, you know? I am who I am. Like I, you know, am so excited for myself, you know? Like I think even also like having a business has helped me love myself more. Like it really does force you to work on that self-worth, and work through all that shame and that guilt and that doubt, and that work on accepting yourself and telling yourself that you're worthy. Because otherwise, like if you don't believe that your business is going to work, or that, you know, you don't believe that, like, it's not going to really work out. You know what I mean? With the work that I had to do with that has helped me a lot to get to where I am now. And because of that, today to celebrate, bitch, I blew a fucking bag on my fucking business. So stay tuned for that. Like, I'm so excited for what's coming. I blew a bag on my fucking I didn't blow like a whole bag, but like, you know, like I did my big one today on my business, and that shit makes me happy. You know what I mean? Like, really, just I'm just so proud of myself to get in here and like showing up the way that I am, and not really letting that, or like letting anyone like kind of come in the way in between that. Like, it's so much more solid. It's so much more solid now for me. That foundation God had me build this year for myself, and I'm only going to be building on it next year. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning into this. I hope this makes sense. Love you. Peace.